What if I told you that your choices in everyday life could lead to a genetic catastrophe for your future generations? Many people believe that the actions and the mistakes that they make today do not affect their future offspring or their gene expression. I am here to tell you that this is further from the truth. I first encountered epigenetics while taking a cellular and molecular biology class. During this class, I studied the subject of epigenetics relentlessly, and I wrote 2 papers on it. I was absolutely blown away with the potential that epigenetics could achieve. Epigenetics is the greatest discovery since the gene and has the potential to heal, protect, and sustain your future generations. During our time together, I'm going to explain to you 3 things. I'm going to tell you that the epigenome is a controller of the genome. Then I'm going to give you some examples of how your everyday life and your environment can lead to epigenetic marks to your offspring. And then I'm going to explain to you the potential that epigenetics has. Now, let me give you a baseline of what epigenetics is. Epigenetics is the study of gene expression without the change in the underlying DNA. Here in this illustration, you have a genome. This green strand is your DNA. This is your code. This is who you are. Now, these orange circular things are called histones. They're proteins. As you can see, the DNA is wrapped around them. Now, these histones have tails. They're called the histone tail. Now, histone coupled with menthol, which is a chemical compound, help create your epigenetic mark. When the epigenetic mark is connected to the histone, the DNA tightens around this protein. This constricts and stops the RNA polymerase from being able to express the gene. Currently, or actually correspondingly, if you remove this menthol chemical, it releases the protein, and then RNA polymerase is able to go in and express the gene. In 2011, Nessa Carey made a great example. Epigenetics is like a movie. The movie is your life, the cells are the actors, the DNA is the script, and the epigenome is the director. You can have the same movie, different actors, with the same script. It's the director who decides which key points to make brighter or which key points to put in the background. Now that I've given you a baseline of what epigenetics is, let me give you some examples of how your everyday choices and your environments can affect your epigenetic marks for your future generations. In 2003, Hemley, Hergu, and Goldie did a paper on 14,000 fathers. Of these 14,000 fathers, 166 of them admitted that they began smoking before puberty. Now, results show that the offspring of these fathers showed a higher body mass index. This shows that the epigenetic marks that were given from smoking before puberty transferred to their offspring. This means higher obesity, higher rates of diseases, and a shorter lifespan. Also in 2003, Girdle and Waterland did an experiment on agouti mice. As you can see, this mouse here has the agouti gene. Now the agouti gene makes the mouse turn orange in color and has obesity. So what these researchers did is they fed this mouse that has the agouti gene expressed, and they fed him a high nutrition of B vitamins. Now B vitamins is the donator of the menthol compound. As a result, the offspring of this agouti mouse did not give birth to orange mice. And I think that is just amazing. So that means that with this nutritional supplement, the gene was able to be turned off through the epigenetic mark. Now, your epigenetic marks can be influenced by your mother's environment. Another experiment by Fay in 2003 also involved mice. Now, these mice contained a genetic malfunction in memory. So what they did is they took these mice and they put them in an environment where they had toys, they had exercise, and they had a lot of love. The results were that the babies of these mice did not express the gene malfunction of memory. That means that your environment can be a direct correlation to these epigenetic marks as well, and they can be passed down generation to generation. Now that I have explained to you how your environment and your actions can affect your future generations, let me explain to you how epigenetics can be a breakthrough in curing the world's toughest diseases. If scientists can harness the power of the epigenetic mark, we can go in and turn on and off genes that cause devastating diseases. In 2004, the FDA passed a drug that uses the epigenetic mark to counteract the great disease called MDS. MDS has a very malicious blood cell that causes a very bad reaction, and patients do not live for more than a year. With the effect of the drug, it is shown that the epigenetic mark has been able to go in and it changed the gene expression of these certain blood cells, and it gets 2 years added on to the people who suffer with MDS. Now, the future of epigenetics right now is in the hands of the Human Epigenome Project. This project, their goal is to set out and map out the whole epigenome. That way scientists can go in and harness what it is that they're capable of doing with the epigenetic marks. Now, to conclude, the epigenome controls the genome in terms of gene expression. It can turn on and off genes, and this can be a breakthrough with cancer. Another thing, your actions, your mistakes, and the environments that you put yourself in can have a direct correlation to your offspring, as you can pass down epigenetic marks that you place on yourself in your life. And lastly, epigenetics can be the greatest discovery and the cure and a breakthrough to cure the greatest diseases that are here now on earth. Now I ask you, are you making the right choices to preserve your future generations? That question's up to you. Thank you.